Hello YouTube, Chrome Freak here. You're looking at the FAL again, STG 58, and we've had not any controversy I want to say, but a lot of good comments going back and forth. And there's just a few things about this rifle I think that need to be cleared up, and a lot of misconceptions or misunderstandings maybe. And the man to clear it up is sitting right here, and that's John. And that's who's, I'm going to turn it over and let him go to town on it.
Well, thank you, Crow. Well, here, we're doing another quick video here because in the few hours since the video was posted, I must have got, I don't know, 60 phone calls from Chrome going, Johnny, got to answer this. Johnny, got to check this out. Oh, we need to get together and answer this, and we need to talk about this, and this guy's got that. And that's not to say anybody out there is saying anything wrong. What has happened was a beautiful debate back and forth between members, between Chrome Freak trying to answer questions or respond. A beautiful debate has popped up regarding the M14 versus the FAL rifle. And I kind of knew that this was going to happen, and I just want to, I'd love to just individually write back to everybody, but we don't have time. We just don't have time with our work schedule and everything. So I wanted to throw out a few more talking points out there and everything. We'll start first with the fact that yes, the United States of America did look very hard at the FAL and chose the M14 over the FAL after the trials for the rifle competition, 1950, whatever the heck it was. We ended up with the M14. Is it a better rifle? Well, that's what a lot of people are chiming in and trying to figure out. And then the other big debate going on is the accuracy debate. And I guess the accuracy debate is kind of the easiest one to throw some more talking points out there. So let's think about it like this. I know there's a lot of people saying the FAL is shooting, on average 3 or 4 MOA, and a good M14 type rifle is going to shoot 1 or 2 MOA, and that's probably the case. I know that certainly my M14s will do that well, but I know for a fact that my nice FALs will do that well as too. And so why do people have a conception that a lot of FALs aren't as accurate as the M14? And I think we need to step back and think about the FALs that are in this country right now. If we had 100 FALs fall out of the sky, how many, Chrome Freak, do you think would be original, pre-ban, made in country of origin FALs? How many do you think that would be out of
100? 2?
Pretty close. I think probably 5. So that would be 5%. So that leaves us with 95% of the rifles out there that are parts kits guns, assembled by some of the big churn house manufacturing guys like Century Arms International, or put together by guys like myself, finding a quality builder and putting this stuff together. So of those remaining 95 rifles, I'm going to say about the remaining 70 of them are going to be what I call meat grinder facility FALs. These are guys who bought a lot of parts kits, went out and found a serviceable receiver, and were putting these things together and throwing them out there because, a few years ago, and it's still even today, the mil-serp market is very hot. And of course, the #1 mil-serp gun out there that everybody's got to compete with are the AKs. And for a long time, until just recently when we got the designer AKs that are all coming in now, that are now in the $800 to $1,200 price range for a lot of these things, most AKs were in the $350 to maybe $550 price range. Yeah. So if I'm making another mil-serp gun, I got to stay close to that or my stuff's not going to sell. So if I'm screwing together FALs as fast as I can, late into the night on whatever receiver I can find that isn't too expensive but isn't unserviceable, and I'm not caring too much about my condition of my barrel or what condition that parts kit's in, because I'm going to dump it in the park tank and put some pretty paint over park on it and call it good, and throw it out there for $350, $450, $550, $600, which a lot of them were back in the day. I know they're up a little bit more now. What kind of accuracy do you think you're going to get out of that rifle? That might explain the vast majority of people chiming in saying, hey, the FALs, they're getting, 3 to 5 MOA out of them. But I guarantee you that if you look at a quality FAL, one that was really built from the ground up to be essentially a new rifle that's either using a new component barrel like DSA is now, or in the case of my guns, if I got a parts kit and that barrel wasn't pristine, I just went out and bought a new barrel because they were available. You can get brand new mil-spec barrels from Steyr, Austria, from Argentina, and put them in with your parts kit, so you spend another $100, you got a brand new barrel. You put that gun together with the care that I have here, and you spend $1,100 to $1,700 like I have on most of my kit-built FALs, and you're going to get something that's going to shoot as nice as that $1,100 to $1,700 M1A. So hopefully that, I'm not saying anybody's right or wrong or anything like that, but those are some talking points. Those are some things to consider. We have to think about what we're comparing. Are we comparing apples to apples in terms of the accuracy thing? Now, in general, overall better, which rifle is better? This debate has been all over the web since the web ever was invented. The M1A, the M14, it's a great weapon. It doesn't quite have all the bells and whistles that the FAL does. I don't think field stripping wise it's as simple and rugged as the FAL. And I'll tell you what, I think the United States military, when they were evaluating both rifles, I literally think they had to pull BS out of the magic hat to get rid of the FAL. And honestly, I think when politicians got involved, if I recall the story from what I consider to be credible sources and credible people, you know, how could the United States of America be buying a foreign rifle to arm our troops with? I mean, gosh almighty, we just had the M1 Garand. And
yeah, there was a lot of patriotism at that time.
And so ask yourself, yes, when politicians get involved, do we normally get the best product?
And And also, let's take a look at this. I'd like to interject on that a little bit too. Really, the M1A, the M14 is basically built on the platform of an M1 Garand with a detachable magazine for the most part, I think.
That is true. The gas system went through some retuning.
Yeah, I mean, there's some changes, but let's look at this. Let's go back to that time, like you said, the 50, whatever time that was when they did that testing. This would look like a futuristic weapon to me, compared to a wood.
Yeah, turning bolt design with, I agree. This was the space gun of its time.
Yeah, I mean, just ahead of its time.
Every bell and whistle. I mean, short of a Coke can dispenser and a cigarette lighter, I mean,
yeah.
What else do you want in a battle rifle? And like I said, you saw the field strip online. It's more dummy-proof in my opinion than an AK.
Right, and I could tell you too, just by looking at this firearm, and I've taken M14s down, M1 Garands down to nothing. I can guarantee you, this would be easier to completely disassemble, in my opinion. I've never done an FAL, but just looking at it, just from the little bit of experience that I do have taking weapons completely down, I'm going to say this is going to be quite a bit easier, to be honest with you.
Really, the only specialty tool you need to take this down is you need a special tool to remove the buttstock, because it does have a spring-loaded plunger in there. You need a special tool to get up in there. There's a hole in the back of the stock to access it. But there's one specialty tool that's required. There's quite a few specialty tools to take a bolt apart for an M1 Garand or an M14.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that simple. They're not.
But, you know, essentially, and again, and for the people that really, I made recommendations at the end of the video for what were good receivers and what were bad receivers, and I 100% stand by that. I know we had some folks chime in who had some good luck with their Enterprise guns, and I went onto the website, took a look at what they're doing right now. They've got a true British inch-cut receiver, and again, an Enterprise receiver is machined from billet. It's not forged and machined like a DSA. It's not a casting like an M1A receiver is from Springfield and practically everybody else. There are some billet M14 type receivers out there, but as far as I know, LBR Arms is the only one right now making a forged receiver to true mil spec. So, you know, you got to be careful. We're doing apples to apples here and everything like that. And again, I'm going to say it one more time. Be careful when you're getting into these guns, because a lot of them are meat grinder factory FALs that people are looking to turn a profit on.
Right.
And be careful. You know, you get what you pay for is the motto at the end of the day here. So anyways, enough preaching. Hopefully that either furthers the discussion, fans the flames, or it calms some people down. We didn't mean to insult anybody. If you've got an FAL and it's working out for you, and it's one of the ones I didn't recommend, you know, great, fantastic for you. You got a bargain. Look at the money I pumped into this son of a gun, and you've got something that works just as well. I give you 2 thumbs up. But for the people who are looking to buy, again, be careful. Early Enterprise inch receivers, and it looks to be that their metric receivers are pretty good. Those are going to be marked Buena Park, California, or Irwindale, California, low serial numbers. You're going to be pretty safe. anything on a DSA receiver, whether it came out of DSA shop or somebody like myself bought a receiver and did a build. You're not going to spend money on a DSA receiver and put a pile of junk on it. It ain't going to happen. Probably going to be pretty safe. Imbel Gear logo receiver, golden, go for it. The new stuff coming out of Century Arms International, that's Imbel, Canada, whatever that weird stuff is, stay away from it. Alright guys, hopefully that's cool with everybody, and enjoy looking at the rifle again. Thanks for listening to us. Rattle on.
And I'll just say something, a couple of things real quickly and we'll end the video. Let's get back to the 1 MOA and a 2 MOA, and this being a 3 or a 4 MOA. I consider myself an average shooter. If I'm shooting, I'm holding this rifle and I'm shooting it at 100 yards and I'm putting it on paper and a target, a foot target, I'm a happy camper, especially through irons. I'm not somebody that's going to be able to tell the difference between a 2 MOA and a 4 MOA gun. I'm not a target, I'm not a precision target shooter. Now some guys are, I understand that, and that's fine. But for the most part, the average shooter is not going to be able to see much of a difference in a 2 MOA and a 4 MOA, in my opinion. Especially standing, shooting, and maybe even from the bench. Just getting lucky to put it on paper at 100 yards in a 1 foot square box, to be honest with you. And also, real quickly, what else did I want to say? I can't even remember. Oh, Lord.
So many comments.
Yeah, there are. There's a lot of comments.
I was floored. And
it's
thank you
great.
guys for the
Yeah, we
comments.
like it. Yeah, we like the comments. We like to keep them coming. I love American guns. John loves American military guns also. Believe me, he does. But he also appreciates this. And you have to. And we don't have, we just don't have to make, if you hear something, you hear something. And if you're one of those guys that have a Century build that you paid $600 or $700 for, and it shoots and it works, just enjoy it for what it is, and shoot it and enjoy it. You got lucky. Good for you. That's a good thing, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And if you're torn and you can't make up your mind, just get an M1A, get an FAL.
There you go. Exactly.
And then, guys, downstream here, as I go back and forth between where I'm from, which we're going to keep that a secret, there's going to be some more FALs coming out. I want to show you guys some inch guns, and we're going to look at some fun metric builds that are just different. They're not any country specific. They're just cool. And then I guess we'll have to bring out the M1As so we can do some work on those. So
yeah.
It's all coming.
I appreciate you bringing your stuff out, John, and showing it too. I really do. Thank you. All right, guys, let's end it. We're over 12 minutes now. We wanted to keep this short. So this will be up probably after the gun show, so I'll just not even add that to it. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Please comment, PM, anything you need. You got questions, let us know. Good night, YouTube.